Every leader has a moment, that quiet pause between I think I can, I'm not so sure. Welcome to Tutum Talk with me, Cara Nance. Together, we'll explore what it means to lead with heart, to build confidence not from control, but from connection. Because your leadership isn't about perfection, it's about presence. And when you trust yourself, your team will too. Join me as we explore leadership in the everyday and beyond. Hello, and welcome back to Tutum Talk. I'm really glad you're here. I don't take it lightly that you choose to press play, especially knowing how full your days already are. Your time, your attention, your presence. Those are meaningful things, and I'm genuinely grateful you're listening. Before we begin, I want to pause and extend warm wishes to those of you celebrating Hanukkah. May this season bring moments of light, reflection, and rest. And if this time of year feels complicated or heavy for you, please know you're not alone in that either. If at any point during this episode something resonates or feels tender, I want you to know you're welcome to reach out. I'm here, and I'd be honored to be of service and support in whatever way feels helpful. Today's episode is called Boundaries Are a Form of Care. And if you've ever struggled with setting boundaries or felt guilty even thinking about them, this conversation is for you. Boundaries are one of the most misunderstood leadership tools. Somewhere along the way, they got framed as harsh, cold, or even selfish, especially for leaders who genuinely care about their people. You might recognize thoughts like, if I say no, they'll think I don't care. If I set a limit, I'm letting someone down. If I stop stepping in, things might fall apart. So instead of setting boundaries, you compensate, you overextend, you stay available, you absorb more than your share. And on the outside, it can look like commitment, dedication, even strength. But on the inside, it often feels like quiet exhaustion. Here's the reframe I want to gently offer today. Boundaries aren't about shutting people out. They're about staying whole enough to stay present. When boundaries are absent, resentment often grows. Not because you don't care, but because you care so deeply that you've stopped caring for yourself. And that's not a failure of character. It's a sign that you've been carrying too much for too long. Let's talk about what actually happens when boundaries are unclear. You might notice you're the person everyone comes to about everything. Decisions stall because people are waiting for your input. You're solving problems that others are capable of solving. Or your team grows hesitant instead of confident. And slowly, without anyone meaning for it to happen, dependency replaces ownership. This isn't because your team is incapable. It's because the system has quietly trained them that you'll always step in. For leaders with big hearts, this pattern is especially common. You don't want to overwhelm anyone. You don't want to disappoint. You don't want to create tension. But here's something important to name. When leaders carry everything, teams don't learn how to carry responsibility. And over time, that dynamic drains everyone. Burnout increases, trust erodes, and leaders begin to feel alone, even while surrounded by people. Boundaries don't break connection. They prevent resentment from breaking it later. So let's clarify what boundaries truly are. Boundaries are not punishments. They're not ultimatums. They're not about control. Boundaries are agreements with yourself and with others. They answer questions like, what am I responsible for? What support am I offering? Where does my role end so yours can begin? Healthy boundaries communicate, I trust you to handle this. I believe in your capacity. I care enough to be clear. And clarity, especially in leadership, is one of the most compassionate things you can offer. Without clarity, people fill in the gaps with assumptions. With clarity, people gain confidence. Boundaries don't reduce your humanity, they protect it. Here's something I often say to leaders. Overfunctioning isn't generosity, it's a signal. It signals that something in the system needs attention, that expectations are unclear, that roles may be blurred. Care doesn't mean absorbing stress. Care means creating sustainability. Boundaries allow you to lead from groundedness instead of urgency. Boundaries also allow you to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting. And boundaries allow you to be consistent instead of depleted. And when you model boundaries, something powerful happens. Your team learns that it's okay to ask questions. It's okay to take responsibility. And it's okay to rest and reset. Boundaries create psychological safety because they make the rules of engagement clear. And clarity helps people feel safe. I want to offer you a moment of quiet reflection. Nothing to fix, nothing to decide right now. Just notice. Ask yourself, where am I overextending because it feels safer than setting a limit? What boundary would support my energy, not threaten my relationships? And what might shift if I trusted others just a little more? Sometimes the most courageous leadership move isn't doing more. It's stepping back with intention. Boundaries don't make you less caring. They make your care sustainable. As we come to a close, I want to return to gratitude. Thank you for listening. Thank you for reflecting. Thank you for caring enough about your leadership and your well-being to be here. If you're celebrating Hanukkah, may this season remind you that even small flames bring light, especially in moments when the path feels uncertain. And if this episode stirred something in you, if you're realizing that your boundaries could use clarity, support, or compassion, you don't have to navigate that alone. You're invited to click the Let's Connect button on the Tutum Leadership Coaching website and schedule time with me. Whether you need tools, reflection, or simply a steady presence, I'd be honored to support you. Until next time, lead gently, care deeply, and remember, your boundaries are a form of care. I know you have a lot of options on how you carve out your day and spend your time, and I'm honored that you decided to spend some time here today at Tutum Talk. Remember that leadership, it isn't something that we master once. It's something we grow into, moment by moment. My hope is that today offered you a little more clarity, a little more courage, and a reminder that you're not leading alone. If this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to share it with someone who might need it too. And remember, confidence doesn't come from having all the answers. It grows from connection, curiosity, and the courage to keep showing up. I'm Cara Nance, and this has been Tutum Talk, exploring leadership in the everyday and beyond.